Welcome back, everyone. It's Joe-thon 'em Up coming at you with your Week 4 waiver wire pickups that you do not want to miss. With injuries happening to key players like Christian McCaffrey, you know there's players out on the waivers right now that are going to benefit from these injuries. So stick around to find out who those players are. Let's get into it. Starting off with running backs, we have Chuba Hubbard and Peyton Barber. Chuba Hubbard is coming in as our top pickup of the week after Christian McCaffrey suffered a hamstring strain during Thursday's matchup against the Houston Texans. The Carolina Panthers already came out and said that they do not plan on placing Christian McCaffrey on the IR, which means they expect him to be back in the next couple of weeks. During his absence, Chuba Hubbard will definitely benefit, and hopefully he can provide some fantasy value too. So he's only 11% owned. You definitely want to pick him up if you have Christian McCaffrey. And if you don't, you definitely want to pick him up to block the Christian McCaffrey owner from getting him. Next, we have Peyton Barber. Peyton Barber is coming off of a huge game against the Miami Dolphins, having 23 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. He was also used in the passing game, getting 5 targets for 31 yards. As long as Josh Jacobs is out of the lineup, it seems that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to play the hot hand approach, and whether it's going to be Kenyon Drake or Peyton Barber is kind of the unknown. But the first week that Josh Jacobs was out, Peyton Barber had 11 carries, and then this past week he had 23 carries. So if he's able to be the 3-down back, he's going to be a great fantasy value. He is only 11% owned in leagues, so he's definitely available. And as long as Josh Jacobs is out of the lineup, he should definitely be owned in leagues. Next, we have our wide receivers, Emmanuel Sanders and Hunter Renfro. Emmanuel Sanders is coming off of a huge Week 3 performance against the Washington football team, getting 6 targets for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, can you expect this kind of production every single week out of Emmanuel Sanders? Probably not. But he's definitely worth the pickup. In Week 1, he had 8 targets. Week 2, he had 6 targets. And Week 3, 6 targets. It seems that the Buffalo Bills want to get him the ball. And if he's going to be involved in the passing game and you're in a full PPR league, he's definitely worth the pickup. He's only 23% owned, so he's probably available in your league, and he should not be on the waivers. Next, we have Hunter Renfro. Hunter Renfro is coming off of a big game against the Miami Dolphins, getting 6 targets for 77 yards and a touchdown. It seems that Hunter Renfro is pretty involved in this offense, getting 9 targets in Week 1, 7 targets in Week 2, and 6 targets in Week 3. Their next matchup is against the LA Chargers, which they're going to have to put points on the board and keep up with this team. So I definitely like his matchup this week, and he's only 11% owned. He should definitely be owned in fantasy leagues, and I really like this matchup this week. So if you need a wide receiver that you need to plug in or you need some depth on your bench, he's definitely a great pickup. Some other wide receivers you may want to take a look at is Tim Patrick with KJ Hamler tearing his ACL and out for the season, and Jerry Jeudy still dealing with that high ankle sprain, and James Washington with Deontay Johnson and Juju Smith-Schuster dealing with injuries. Next, we have our tight end, Dawson Knox. If you're struggling at the tight end position, Dawson Knox may be someone you want to take a look at. He scored a touchdown in each of his last 2 games, and it seems that Josh Allen likes to target him in the red zone. Now, consistency is hard to find at the tight end position, and Dawson Knox may not be consistent, but I like finding tight ends that are on teams that throw the ball a ton, and the Bills are one of those teams. So he's only 5% owned, and he may be worth taking a look at. Next, we have our quarterback of the week, Derek Carr. Derek Carr has been a pretty good fantasy option through the first 3 weeks, having 435 yards in Week 1, 382 yards in Week 2, and 386 yards in Week 3, throwing 2 touchdowns in each of those 3 games. Now he's going to be going up against the LA Chargers, which he's going to have to put points up on the board to keep up with this team. So I really like his matchup this week. He is 50% owned, so he may not be available in your league. But if you're streaming quarterback and he's available in your league, I would start him this week with confidence. Last, we have our defense of the week, the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are taking on the Indianapolis Colts this week, which if you've watched any of the Colts games, they cannot keep Carson Wentz on his feet. He's constantly being pressured, and that's what I want to see for my defense. So the Miami Dolphins is a pretty good defense, and going up against an offensive line that cannot keep their quarterback safe is what I want to see for my defense. They are 20% owned throughout leagues out there, so there's a good chance they're out there. And that's going to do it for us today. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you know when new videos like this go live. And as always, don't forget, line them up!